Now we're going to talk about troubleshooting if EPUB validator finds some errors in your document. If you don't have proper formatting, it's much more likely to happen. And I've actually created a few intentional errors in this EPUB to give some examples. First of all, let's save this to our desktop. Right-click and we'll save it to the desktop. And here we are at EPUB validator. We'll browse it and select the file and validate it. Okay, here's a list of problems, and this is likely to happen, especially if you don't have a really well properly formatted document before you upload to Calibre. Now the nice thing about the EPUB validator is it gives you a list of all the items, including where it occurs in Calibre by basically the index split or even the title page in this example, and even the line. And so we're going to take a look at those. Now you may remember the mistake that I made accidentally earlier in the chapter on editing in Calibre. And so that's going to be a really easy one to fix. This one down here, notice that 3 of these are from the same index split number 6 and the same line number 25, in just different positions. So there's a good chance those are all related. And then this final one here might be something different, but we'll check on all of these individually. The first one we're going to fix is this one from the title page, and it's line 1, position 1. So now let's go into Calibre and edit and see what's going on there. So in Calibre, we'll click Edit Book. And then remember the section that was the first problem. It was this title page, and we'll double click on that to open it up. And it was in line 1, position 1 actually was the problem. And this is the area where I accidentally typed those in. I didn't even realize I did it, so it's nice that it makes it so easy to find it. So we can just delete those, and that's actually going to fix the very first problem. Hopefully both of these problems are the same thing, so when we validate it again we'll see if those go away. And that seems to be the case with these 3. They're all from index split number 6, line 25, and there are 3 different positions, but they all seem to have to do with the element UL not being allowed and expecting the element LI instead. So let's take a look at what's going on there. So in edit mode, we need to double click on index split number 6. And then we're going to scroll down to line number 25. And let's just put our cursor here. Notice how the file preview has changed the spacing for it. So this is actually line number 25. And as you can see, we have a problem with a bullet list. And so that's what's going on here. And UL and LI have to do with the bullet lists. And I've actually fabricated this example. If you remember what EPUB validator told us, it said element UL not allowed, expected LI. And that's exactly what's going on. So let's go to line 25 and change these ULs to LI, just like we have in line 26, and also see how line 26 ends in LI. Let's end that in LI too, and see if that fixes our bullet point. And it does. It fixes it over here, and I have to admit that I had to fabricate this to be an example. But you can find these things in your own document, and often you can play around with the HTML code a little bit, even if you're not that good with it. You may want to copy and paste the coding from this area and keep it somewhere in a document that's safe, just in case you need to type that back in the way that it originally was and get more professional help. And then here's the final error that we have now. It's from index split number 2. Line 51. It has something to do with the sample chapters of the next book, and so I'm not sure exactly what that is, but that is in the table of contents. Let's take a look at that. If we click on index split number 2, and then we scroll down to line number 51, put our cursor here. Now you may notice that the sample chapters of Little Universe is actually this section, but it hasn't raised it to the very top. That's because this page can't go any lower. It's at the lowest part of this page. And I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this problem, but I know that it's a hyperlink, and I might try clicking on it just to see where it goes. Oh, it's not going to the proper location. When I clicked on it, Calibre didn't know where to send it. So obviously there's a problem in the original document. Let's look at the document and see if we can figure out what's going on there. Here's the original Microsoft Word document, and let's scroll down to the table of contents, which is here. And now let's scroll down to that section that was the problem. This is it, the sample chapters of the Little Universe. Something about this link doesn't seem to be working at Calibre, so let's try it here. I'm going to press the Control button down and click. Oh, and it's going to a blank part of space here. If I use the Show Hide feature, you can see it's going to a blank paragraph return. And apparently Calibre doesn't like that. It has trouble with that. It wants to actually see these letters here. That's what it's supposed to see. So let's change the bookmark. Obviously the bookmark was set to go there. We're going to change the bookmark to go here. And so I'll go into Insert, Bookmark, choose Sample Chapters, The Little Universe, add that. And now this is going to be okay. So let's save this, and we'll re-upload this along with the other changes we made, and we'll see if that's going to validate okay. Okay, I've made all those changes. I deleted the original book. I re-uploaded this new version of Better You, Better Me. And I changed the metadata. I converted it to an EPUB. And then if we look in the Edit Book area and click on the title page, you'll see that those double L's are gone. And we can go to index split number 6. And we'll scroll down to line number 25, put our cursor there, and you can see that our bullet point looks correctly. We changed the ULs to the LIs. And even in index split 2, if we scroll down to that hyperlink that wasn't working, and if we click on it, now it is working properly. And so I believe that this is going to validate just fine. And so we'll save this version to the desktop. And back at EPUB Validator, we'll browse it and select the document and validate. And hopefully this one will say congratulations. Awesome. Those were the problems and we fixed them. Now, there are hundreds and hundreds of possibilities here, so there's a chance that you're going to have something very different. And we're going to talk about other options in case you're having trouble finding the solution to your errors next.